What's going on, YouTube? Chris here. I want to bring you all an update today of Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum. And we're going to be looking at all these on the 1 week chart. So we're not going to get into the 1 day. We're not going to get into the 4 hour or anything like that. I really wanted to step back and take a long-term look at Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum, also going into the halving that we'll be having now in 50 some days. So it's important for us guys to really look at the long-term health of Bitcoin. And what I was doing yesterday, I bought when we had that volume climax, and then yesterday night before I went to bed, I actually sold back out because of the move that we had. We dropped over 30%. We had a nice bounce yesterday. I forget where it ended up closing, guys, up 20% or something along those lines. And that's when I took my profit. I didn't want to hold overnight due to what we're seeing today, how we're down over 5% again. Because a lot of times when you have that climax dump, you'll have a reaction the next day or the following day, and then you'll have another sell-off, and then we'll have to see where we're positioned and where the bottom potentially is. But right now, I think being in cash is one of the best places to be so that you can make these decisions and really step back and have a long-term perspective on it. So for me, it was a nice little trade, being able to jump in, ride that up, and then get back out again. And I think that's what a lot of other traders were looking at as well. So what I'm going to do now is try to position myself and get ready for the next opportunity that I have to go long in this space. Because right now where we're at, me personally, I don't want to be shorting Bitcoin or this market. Been too crazy, been way too volatile. So what I've been doing is playing those reactions. When we have those big sell-offs, I'm jumping in, I'm riding it up for a certain amount of time till I hit certain indicators or areas that I see or fit, and then I will pull my money back out, wait in cash, and then do it again. That's how I've been playing this market right now, because I think hodling in this market is extremely dangerous with where we're at and everything going on in the world right now. So we're going to get into all this, guys. You get some from these videos, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I appreciate you all being here with me. So the main thing that Bitcoin needs to hold right now is this 200-week moving average, and this is in white. You can see right here we're fighting. So tomorrow's close for Bitcoin is going to be extremely important. We need to close up above that. If we do not close up above that, guys, we could fall extremely hard, extremely fast, down to even $4,000 again. $4,100 would be an area. Then it'd be around 3,300, and then I'd look ultimately that 3,100 where we had our bullish engulfing candle and what kicked off our run from 3,000 all the way up to that blow off top of $14,000. But for right now, this is really important that we close this candle up above this 200-week moving average tomorrow. That's going to be extremely important because we have now lost our 20 EMA on the weekly, we've lost our 40, and we've lost our 50. So that's definitely something that we need to pay attention to. Now, if we do close up above that, what I would look for is a move back up into the area of around 6,900. We'll call it $7,000 right in here. Could be tough overhead resistance that we're going to have to get through as well, because that's also where we had all this consolidation out of that descending triangle before we had a dump back down to that $3,100. And that's how aggressively things change in this space very quickly. Also for us, what we would like to see in the long term though, guys, we need to break these lower highs that have been coming in. As you can see right here, I mean, we have not gotten over top of those, and that's extremely important for us to do so, because if we do ever end up getting a trend line break out of here, guys, that's when we can start challenging 10,500. Then we'd look up to around that 12,000, then ultimately around that 20,000, but we're nowhere near that right now. Right now, you need to have capital preservation on your mind. That's the number one key. Capital preservation. Remember, we've talked about it before. It's like in battle. You send your troops out, think of your capital like that. Obviously, human life's much more important, but just an analogy here. So you send your capital out, you want to collect more of that capital and bring it back with the capital that you sent out. You don't want to lose any of it. That's the name of the game here. So that's why you always have to be protective of your capital, and you have to realize that we are in a downtrend right now. Now, in terms of the 1 week, we are getting close to that oversold territory on the relative strength. We're at 33 right now. Could we definitely go lower? Absolutely. As you've seen before, when we had our nasty, nasty, wicked dump there, guys, down to 31, we got super low here on the 1 week. We were down to 28 before, and let me see if we've had any other areas. So I think 28 on the 1 week is about as low as we've gotten, and we're getting pretty close to that now. So maybe that is an area where we're going to get a bounce, but we definitely need some confirmation, and we need a nice candle close up above this 200 and show that that is going to be support before you start getting too crazy. That's just my opinion. So guys, that's Bitcoin. We're going to move on to Litecoin here next, so just be careful. That's the main thing I can tell you. Be careful and really watch tomorrow if we can close up above that 200-week moving average. That's the main thing that I'm looking at right now. Next, for Litecoin, we're at 35.49 right now. And I was playing a Litecoin position yesterday as well on the 15-minute time frame. So just kind of getting in and out. And for Litecoin, also climax dump right down in here on the 1 week time frame. We're at 36 on our RSI right now. And now in terms of, at least on this chart here, what you can see is we've lost all our moving averages, and our 200 is not even showing right now on this chart. So let me see if I can pull up another chart for Litecoin, see if we can get a little bit more data here. Just give me 1 second, guys. So let's try Kraken. All right, so for Litecoin here, we have now dropped below on the 1 week time frame. We have lost our 200 moving average, and that's at $62.59. So guys, it's just a sticky area. I mean, you can see if we continue to fall down, we'd look for support around that $22 that we've had there. But typically when you get these volume climaxes like we had, that can be a bottom or a top. Just like up here, how we had this top with high volume. So that signified the top there, and then we started getting pushed to the downside. And then we had fairly good volume right here to the downside. And then same deal with what we're having now, just like back in here. See the volume climaxes right up in this area? That's something that you always want to pay attention to. Volume climaxes, because what they can do is change that trend for you. But right now, guys, things are just looking ugly. I just really want to tell you, just prepare yourself for more downside. I'm not saying it's coming, but you always have to be prepared for it. And on the 1 week chart here, guys, just for Litecoin here, I'll go into the 1 day for you. Just kind of want to freestyle today on a Saturday with you. Kind of going off my notes and everything, but on the 1 day, you can see what we had was basically a bullish piercing pattern here. And now what we're going to have to see is where we end up rolling over to. If we can continue to hold this area of around $30 would be good. To the upside, I'd want to get up above that $39. So those are kind of the areas that I'm going to look at there on the 1 day time frame. But jumping back out to the 1 week for Litecoin, being at 36, guys, we're still not completely oversold yet. It could get lower, so just be aware of that. In terms of our stock RSI, you can see we had our downward cross that also correlated with our doji candle up top. So a lot of times when you'll get those, you'll see higher volume, you'll get a doji, you'll also have a stock cross. A lot of times that will signify that's the time to get out. So that's what I like to do, is really put the confluence of things together. That's the main thing that I like to do. And then, guys, we'll throw Fibonacci on here for us. So in terms of our Fibonacci, from our swing low there up to our swing high. And what we're going to go is from that dump when we got down to 22. So in 2019, we had that huge run up, and then we had our bear market there for almost 6 months. So from that area, from our low up to the high that we had, you can see we dropped all the way down through the 0.886. We are sitting now right over top of that 0.786. I'd like to see that hold, and eventually, guys, start closing back up above that 0.618, and that would be up around $46, but we're just not there yet. And in my opinion, still wait for more confirmation, guys. I'd rather get Litecoin, unless I'm just trading, in and out day trading. I'd rather get it at a higher price with confirmation and starting to get higher lows and higher highs than try to catch a falling knife, hold on to it for a long time, and have the price continue to go a little bit lower. So I think now is just that time for capital preservation. I'm going to continue to preach it, guys. I am not a hodl moon boy. If you are and you're upset with me for trading and everything, I'm sorry, but I want to tell people the truth. I still have, from when I first got in 2017, I still have some hodl bags that I've just put off to the side and I don't even think about anymore. And those have gotten absolutely crushed, guys. And I've done so much better trading. So that's why I want to teach this stuff to people, because people go, oh, hodling's so much better. Well, I've done both, and I can tell you from my honest opinion, trading in this space is so much more successful than hodling is, at least at this point, and that's been for about 3 years now. So, guys, you do whatever you want to do, but I'm just trying to help the people who really want to listen and learn technical analysis. So the next one we're going to go into is Ethereum. Take a look at ETH. ETH's going to control a lot of the altcoin market as well, so it's definitely something you want to keep your eye on here. So Ethereum, we're down to $128 now. Let's take a look at this. We'll get our stock off of here. All right. Guys, so what we were almost in is one of these symmetrical triangles here on the 1 week. You can see how we broke down through, but now we're trying to find support off it again here. So that'd be nice if we could close up around this area and then potentially start bouncing back and forth in here. That would be our best bet. But still right now, guys, we've lost all our moving averages and we're sitting at a key support here of $128. If we do go lower than that, I would look down to around that $84. And that's why capital preservation is so important right now, because we're kind of at those scary areas where if Ethereum, if Bitcoin, if Litecoin dump, they could have massive dumps down to this lower area. I mean, you're looking at $128, guys. If we end up going to the bottom there at $85, that's a huge loss that you would be sitting in. So this is just the time to, really be careful. Same deal. We had our volume climax right in here, okay, for our bottom. And typically, guys, just like I was talking about out of here, do you see this big heavy volume climax? And then what happened? The trend started to change, and we ended up going from that $84 all the way up to $370. So volume is extremely important for me, just like in a downtrend here. Do you see how all the volume dried up? This stuff is going to tell you when you're in a bull market or you're moving up, you're going to have impulse waves of volume to the upside, and then when you retrace and you have these little retracements here, the volume's going to die off. Then you pump on heavier volume, then the volume's going to die off. That's an uptrend. And it's the opposite for a downtrend. You're going to have big sticks of volume, and then the volume's going to dry up for that reaction, and then a big stick of volume back down, and you're going to see those lower highs and lower lows consistently coming in. But right now, guys, just be careful. I guess that's the main thing I'd say. For Ethereum, we'd go right here about that $80. We try to find support, and then it'd be up around, I'd say 105, 104 there, and then the area that we're sitting at right now around that 128. Those are our support areas that are left. And then to the upside, we need to get back up above this 50-week moving average, and that's going to be around $197. So we got a lot of work to do to really try to get up into those areas. But guys, just right now, unless you're trading and you're getting in and out of things, just be extremely careful, because there's a lot of different news going around in the space right now. There's a lot happening in the world, and I just want you to protect your capital the best that you can. So that's what I wanted to leave you with today, guys. Not a ton going on in the space here. Nothing too exciting for me to talk to you about, but I just wanted to put this out there for you. I appreciate y'all. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. God bless you, my friends. Have a wonderful Saturday. Take care.